Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's webinar as part of Post-16 Careers Week 2025. Tonight we're going to be talking about studying vocational qualifications, so running through T-levels, BTECs and NVQs, everything that you need to know about finishing secondary school and starting college in September 2026, answering your kind of burning questions from what courses to choose, how the different subjects and course disciplines compare, top tips from application forms, what happens when you get them submitted, right through to results day, enrolment, and what happens if you change your mind. So we're joined tonight by the heads of careers from 3 colleges across the Stockport, Manchester and Cheshire areas. So Stockport College, the Manchester College and the Macclesfield College, plus a local employer, Adecco, and a student who's recently taken part in a T-level. So this is a really fantastic opportunity for you to pick their brains ahead of going along to open events or other in-person careers fairs. So throughout the course of the evening, we'll have a range of different presentations and an opportunity for you to put your questions to our expert panel. So before we get started, I'm just going to run through some basic details with you whilst we've still got people joining our event, to give you a bit of a heads up about what to expect from tonight's session. So my name is Caroline Brown, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. Tonight's event is delivered on behalf of Stockport Council as part of Post-16 Careers Week. That's a digital careers event that's taken place for the last 5 years, provided to all secondary schools across Stockport. So you should have hopefully had a letter home about this as students, parents and carers from Tim Bowman, Director of Education, to tell you what's going on throughout the course of this week and how your school is getting involved with that. In case you're still catching up, you can access any of those resources directly if that letter is going to rise somewhere by heading over to the Stockport Jobs Match website, or just put in Post-16 Careers Week into your search engine of choosing. Otherwise, you can scan the QR code that's on the screen at the moment. So as students, parents and carers, the first fantastic resource that you have access to is our digital college and sixth form prospectus. So that is a 50-page guide about all of the different study pathways that you can opt for once you've finished your GCSE. So it explains about the different levels of qualifications, talks about the differences between them in terms of formats, assessment, where you can study, etc. And then it's got an A to Z of all the different colleges and sixth forms across the Stockport and Greater Manchester area, with a list of courses that they offer, open dates, contact information, etc. There's a whole host of student resources that you can undertake either in a classroom setting or you can complete at home. So, parents, carers, you can print these off as well. Great resource to start conversations and spark ideas at home. So everything from, a checklist of questions to ask at open days through to pathway planners, plan B exercises, future me activities if you've no idea what to do for your own career goal or which subjects to choose, right down to a budget planner for starting college. There's a suite of videos on the Stockport Jobs Match Post-16 website as well, from day in the life interviews with different careers and employers across Stockport, talking about what they do as their jobs, through to little bite-sized clips about starting college, top tips for application forms, work experience, what employers are looking for, etc. And then throughout the course of this week, we've hosted a suite of different live events. So last night was talking all about A-levels and sixth forms. Tonight we're obviously talking about vocational qualifications. Tomorrow we're going to be talking all about apprenticeships. So we've got some colleges, independent training providers and employers joining us for the evening. And then on Thursday lunchtime, so during the day at 12:30, we're having a specific session on the choices available for students with SEND, an EHCP or additional needs at 16+. So a lot there for you to access to help that next step of decision making go really, really smoothly. In terms of tonight and what to expect as part of our running order, so I'm just going to talk you a little bit through safeguarding initially and some instructions for tonight. So as you'll no doubt have gathered, because tonight's event is set up as a webinar, that's due to having young people on the call, it means that you can't turn on your camera or microphone at any point throughout the course of tonight's event. That doesn't mean that we don't want to hear from you, it's just that we're protecting confidentiality. If at any point during tonight's session you have a question, on the bottom of your screen, if you hover over your control panel, you'll find a Q&A box. You can, of course, pop a question in there, either using your name or submit it anonymously for any one of our expert panelists, or just a general question. And once we've covered tonight's initial presentations, we will get round to answering as many of those questions as we can. So again, a really unique opportunity for you to ask those questions to our experts. So do take advantage of that. As mentioned, we're going to start off the evening with each of our 3 colleges giving you a brief overview of the different types of courses that you can study there, and perhaps a little insight into applications, why you should choose them, extracurricular activities, etc., to give you a bit of a heads up. We've then got a couple of pre-submitted questions, most of which centre around T-levels. So we're going to be chatting a little bit to Tressa, our employer, who's joining us for this evening, and Zara, our T-level student, to get a little bit of advice from them. And then we'll come on to our live Q&A chat. So that's enough from me as a general introduction. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to pass you over to Lisa from Stockport College, who's going to share her screen and kick us off with a general presentation about your options for study at Stockport College.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us this evening. My presentation is all around the Trafford and Stockport College group. So just a little bit of background. We are a 5-campus college, and we have students 16 to 19, adults, apprentices, which are young people and adults. And then also we offer higher education and some online courses for adults as well. So we offer quite a nice range. We, over at the Stockport area, we have 3 campuses. We have the Stockport campus, we have the campus over at Marple, and the other one over at Cheadle. I would say Stockport has had some new builds attached to the existing site, whereas over at Cheadle for this year we have had a new build, which is just amazing. So we will be offering open events coming up throughout the year, so please do come and join us. But that is what we have on offer in the Stockport area, is the 3 campuses. So the offer that we have for young people, so 16 to 19, we have at level 3, we have A levels, T levels, and vocational offer. We also have apprenticeships that you can study at from the age of 16. At level 2, again, we have the vocational qualifications, and you might know them as like BTECs or NVQs. And we also have a T-level foundation year. So if you are hoping to get onto a T-level, we have particular entry level for your grades. If you've not quite yet got those, we do that extra like level 2 year, which is a T-level foundation year. So it becomes more like a 3-year T-level offer. We also have full-time GCSE programs, so it might be that you are not quite sure what you want to do, but you want to maybe improve your GCSEs that you've already got, or take on some more. We do have a full-time GCSE offer. And again, we have the apprenticeships where you can start at level 2. So it's quite a nice kind of broad range, and depending upon which route you go down depends on how you're assessed. So for instance, with apprenticeships, you will have some like ongoing assessments, but at the end you'll have an endpoint assessment where everything kind of comes together. T levels and A levels, they will have that end of year 1, end of year 2 exams. Whereas the vocational side, you might have a mixture, so you might have assignments throughout the year, and then at the end of year 1 and year 2 you would have external exams that you have got set. With a lot of the courses, there is a work placement offer. So as part of your qualification, you would need to complete a particular number of placement hours. For some of the courses, you would have assessments in the workplace. Others, it's more that you've experienced the skills, knowledge, and behaviours that employers are looking for. We also have entry and level one. And with that, again, we have a vocational offer. Foundation apprenticeships, which are new, that are just recently come out. So we're going to start offering those after January time, and then also internships. But it's just important kind of to note that all courses start at level 3, so it depends on the subject area that you're studying. So say, for instance, you wanted to do hairdressing, the highest level that you could start at is level 2. Whereas you might want to come and do business, and the highest level that you can start at is level 3. So it all depends upon your GCSE grades at what level you can start at. Vocational includes BTEC, which is Pearson, City and Guilds, and NCFE. Those are some of the awarding bodies that offer that vocational qualification. With the courses that we offer, there are entry criteria that you would need to have to get onto those particular levels. So the foundation like learning, which is more like your entry level, if you don't have any GCSEs or maybe you've got low kind of grades, you can start with us on the foundation level. Level 1, you would need to have 4 grade 2s or above. Level 2, you would need to have 4 grade 3s or above. And for level 3, you would need to have grade 4s and above. But there are some particular subjects at level 3 where you might need to have science, for instance, or a particular grade in maths and English to get on a particular course. So it's all very bespoke to kind of the area. You can get all that information on the website by searching under the courses that we have. And kind of delve into that side of things. These are the courses that we offer at level 3 T level. Vocational courses are in the middle and the right columns. So as you can see with the T levels, level 3, we have a whole suite of qualifications with the digital side, assistant teaching for education, childcare if you want to go into teaching, early years educator if you want to go into an early years setting. Then we have like legal, financial accounting, marketing, health, T levels. So if you want to become a nurse, we also have management and administration quals, accounting, engineering, building services. Other than that, we have the vocational side. So as you can see at the side bum, it'll tell you whether it's kind of starting at level 1 and working up. So for example, hairdressing, it vocationally, we don't do a T level in it, so we offer from level 1 to level 3. The same with beauty therapy. So you can see there which courses don't have a T level in it, but they do have a level 3 qualification. Depending on what it is you want to study. So for instance, if it was construction and engineering, that's a Stockport campus. Business and computing is at Stockport, and creative media is. Other than that, there's a lot of the courses that are across Stockport, Cheadle and Marple. So if you look on the website at a particular course, it'll tell you if we offer it at that campus. Okay, that's it from me. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
That's fantastic. That's a really good overview to get us started, Lisa. So I really do appreciate that. A lot of the questions that we get asked initially are all around the different level of courses. So what does a level 1 actually mean? What does entry level mean? What does level 2 mean? Level 3, etc. So that was a really good way of talking us through that. Thank you. So we now understand the courses that are offered by Stockport and Trafford College Group. Really good introduction to them. That won't be the last that we hear of Lisa. So if you've got specific questions that you want to ask about the course that you would like to study, what level it's offered at, and what else Stockport College have to offer, then we will come back to those at the end. I'm going to move us on quickly to our next speaker because everyone's doing, in case you joined us late, everyone's going to do a quick introduction about the courses that they offer, and then we'll come on to specific questions afterwards. So I'm going to move us on to Betty now, who joins us tonight from the Macclesfield College. So if I could just ask you to share your screen for us, please.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you very much to Lisa. I cannot top that explanation of the different courses, so thank you so much. So I'm going to talk you through some slightly different things about college, the differences between leaving school and suddenly arriving at this marvellous place, and particularly about my own lovely college in Macclesfield in Cheshire, right out in the country, very different to the larger colleges which are throughout the cities. Yes, it's a really interesting place to be. It's probably for some people, it's the first time that you make the decision for yourself about what you'd like to do next. So it's a really interesting time to move from school and all the hardship of the learning and revising of GCSEs and onto this place that you've actually picked. So I'm going to move along now. That's not moving very well. There we go. So college life then, I'm sure that a lot of the colleges are like this, but at Macclesfield College, we have a few little quirks and some really nice bits and pieces that go on at our college. Fridays are off timetable and our students are out on that particular day. They're doing their work experience. Lots of them are on placements. They might be catching up with their assignments, assessments, maybe get a little job and earn some money. And very, very good for the staff and the teachers. That's the day they're doing the marking and prepping all of their classes for the following week. So that's really nice about Macclesfield College. We did this on behalf of the government during the cost of living crisis to see how it would impact college life and the students' experience. And actually, we're the #1 college in Cheshire and Warrington on our results. So I would say that it's been a marvellous impact actually, and very, very good for us. We have lovely things attached to the college, and I know some of the other colleges also will have some really interesting things on their campuses. Ours are a lovely on-site gym in the sports complex and all the all-weather pitches and everything we have attached to that. The Starbucks, ever popular. Yeah, definitely the pumpkin spice lattes at the moment. Everyone comes in and meets the friends. College is very, very social, really nice, because it's not just the same old 5 years of the same people like you have at school. These are people from all over your county and maybe your region that you're going to make friends with. So it's really lovely and very social. And of course, our students are training in the salon for hair and beauty. Lots of the students go there and model for them. And that's really, really great. They can keep up with their fashions. Awards and competitions in college. The big one for us is the World Skills. We have an astonishing young lady at the moment. She's an Olympian and she got a bronze medal in Paris when she was very young, but she's now in Denmark for the European World Skills with our health and social care team. And if they get in the top 3 of that, they go to China. So it's at that level. And of course, college is not like school, not with your uniform that you've always had. You're dressing for your profession and you feel like you really fit right in with that. For our college at our lovely campus, you know, big huge car park. Most of our feeder schools are within 15 miles, 16 miles radius. So we have all the buses coming in that we subsidise for the students, and the main train station, of course. Lots and lots of enrichment goes on at college. Yes, all of this, events, freshers' fairs, lots of things that the students choose to do themselves, orienteering, going out visiting art galleries, all kinds of things, lots of creative things. The nail art has blown us away with the popularity. And we also like to support the students with the mindfulness, the meditation classes, very popular. Pride Safe Space, of course, and we have our Pride event. And we want something to add to their CVs in the future. So student ambassadors, you can see the girls there representing Zimbabwe, and the student council, very popular, and speaking to the governors and the student governors. And all of this is amazing for building resilience and confidence, and giving the students something to focus on outside of their studies. For us, I was asked about how do you apply for college, and it begins for us on the 23rd of October with the first of the open days, and we have a number of these running through, and there's always a big flood of applications straight after them. But yes, you can apply from the 23rd of October. Now, some of the colleges, of course, they have deadlines for your application to be in. At Macclesfield, we don't do that because we like to spread it evenly throughout the year, just in case there's any mind changes. So we never have actually run a deadline. We did once over many years ago, but we didn't like the way it actually panned out for the students. We had a lot of requests later on to come to college. So now we just keep that running. On some of the courses, there will be wait lists and they will be oversubscribed. So we always say to the students, if you know what you'd like to do, if you know you'd like to come to this college, pop your name down, get your name down as soon as possible, and get your interview and get your place offered. And then you can just go into your GCSEs knowing you have that ready there for you. And it doesn't matter if you change your mind, absolutely doesn't matter. But at least you know you've got that, and that's really nice. So the 4 things you do at the college, the vocational courses, the T levels, apprenticeships, and we run 2 pathways in A levels. So the T levels, then the 80-20 type of learning. Yes, it's 3 years, as Lisa said, and 2 years of, 3 A levels and 2 years of full-time study to complete. And that's how ours work, 80% with us in college, all your technicals and your practicals, and 20% out in work placement. So yes, it's a nationally recognised qualification, and these are absolutely super. They give you experience, but they give you UCAS points, and they're great. So we have for my college running currently. I think there'll be another couple added by the end of the year, but these are the ones now. Design, surveying and planning for those who would like to go in at the higher level of construction. Education and childcare, which is an amazing and well-resourced area to work in these days. Manufacturing and engineering, processing and control, and health. Now the health one is really interesting because we have 2 academies at Stepping Hill and also Macclesfield Hospital, where our students are out 2 days a week, and they're shadowing on the wards. So that's really beneficial to them. And they all have different entry requirements, but as a minimum, you'll always need your 5 GCSEs at grade 4 and above, including your maths and English, and some of them ask for science, and engineering asks for maths at a 6. So they're the benefits of a T level. If anyone would like to know more about them, we have a team here at the college who will take you, deeper down into exactly what is involved. But thank you very much for viewing. I hope that gives you an overview of college and touching on the T levels as well. Thank you.
Great, thanks so much, Elizabeth. Really good summary of all the different benefits that a college can bring and what college life is really all about. So really great insight. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to move on very swiftly to Charlotte, who joins us from Manchester College to give a quick overview before we come on to some of your questions for this evening. If you'd like to share your screen, Charlotte.
Yeah, of course I will. Thank you. Can you see my presentation?
No, we can just see your folder, so you might have shared the wrong screen there.
Right, hang on 1 second.
No problem. As we said at the start, guys, we are live, so sometimes these things happen. Give Charlotte a couple of minutes and I'm sure she'll get it up on the screen. Put the pressure on you now.
I know.
There we go, that's perfect.
Amazing, thank you. Thank you so much everyone for joining us tonight. So my name is Charlotte and I work at the Manchester College. So I'm just going to talk to you tonight a little bit about what we offer and some sort of hints and tips as well. So we are the #1 college, further education college in Greater Manchester for overall achievement. We've got 4 campuses across Greater Manchester, which we'll sort of delve a little bit deeper into the presentation. We have a variety of technical and vocational career routes, including T-levels, great range of facilities, and we also work with 2 partner companies who can offer apprenticeships and progression to degree level courses as well. So here on my screen is a range of vocational and technical courses. So each course ranges from entry level up to level 3, including T levels. So we have over 175 vocational courses available. So there is a wide range that you can choose from. And then a little bit about our T levels. So they are, as we've heard from the other 2 presentations, they are a 2-year programme that are equivalent to 3 A levels and a minimum of 315-hour industry placement, which is roughly around about a 35-day industry placement per year. So there'll be 2 of them one each year, and you can progress onto higher education, whether that is an apprenticeship, university, or straight into a work setting. So we offer quite a range of T levels as well. They have all got different sort of specialisms within the T levels that we do offer. So just as an example, we offer, so for construction, we offer T levels in surveying, architecture, electrical installation. So they're just a few of the specialisms within that subject. So if you do want to find out any more information about the sort of specialisms we have in each one, they are all on our website for you to view. If you just pop in the area you're interested in and the T level button, it will bring all that information up. We also have a transition year, so a T level level 2 foundation year. So if you've not quite got the entry requirements for the T levels, you can go on to a level 2 foundation year, which will enable you to resit your maths and English if you need to do that, and it will also get you upskilled to what a full T level would be the year after. So please don't worry, you've got that to fall back on just in case. So that is an opportunity for you to do. And then these are a few of our employers that we work with on work placement. They provide us with industry placement opportunities for all students. They come in, run masterclasses, guest lectures and workshops. They've helped us co-design these courses as well to make sure that skills gap has been bridged. So they've all been created by industry experts that have provided as much education and information ready for you to start into the world of work. And then our locations. So as I did touch on at the start, we have got 4 campuses across Manchester. We've got our city campus. And as you can see along the bottom, these are photos from the campus. So this is a very sort of creative campus. It has our hospitality and catering, music, performing arts, creative and digital media, computing, business and science as well. So that's just some of the facilities there. Then at Openshaw, we also have our sport and public services, criminology, childcare, health and social care, automotive, construction and engineering as well. And then our Harper Hay campus, we've got hair and beauty, travel, tourism and aviation, theatrical media, makeup, hospitality and catering, and And then Wythenshawe is a variety of sort of all of our different offerings. Apart from the performing arts and music side, we also have at Wythenshawe the animal care facilities, and that's the only campus that offers our animal care facilities. And then support available. So we have a range of support available at the college. So each curriculum area, so whether that's construction, hair and beauty, travel and tourism, you will all be assigned an achievement tutor for that subject area. So they help with things like progress, your aspirations, any sort of support that you might need at college, they can pop into place, as well as your attendance. So they will be sort of contacting you if you're not coming to college and you've not contacted college, just to make sure you're okay. We've got a huge student support team and a supported learning team as well, who can sort of provide a more personalised experience for SEND students or those with an EHCP. And we've also got a student careers team as well, which provide you with all sorts of information. If the course that you've started on in September isn't quite right, they will help you to sort of make a decision and see if there's anywhere else in the college that you'll be more suited to. And that is mirrored across all of our 4 campuses. And then a little bit about the enrichment. So you can get involved with sports teams and they compete in regional competitions. There's lots of sort of activities and events on site. So whether it might be sort of like getting involved with charities or experience days, and you can get involved with our student voice team, who can, if there's anything in college that you'd like to see that we currently don't have, please voice your opinion, because we have got a dedicated team you can get involved with. And then a little bit about our next steps. So we have got 3 open events coming up. So we've got our first one next Tuesday, one on Saturday the 15th of November, and then Thursday the 5th of March. So they are quite spread out. So please don't worry if you can't attend the first one. There is another 2 after that as well. And then all of our applications are based online. So if you just head to our website, search the course that you're interested in and apply directly through our website, you will be generated an account, and you need to keep logging in and out of that, because it will send you emails to upload evidence, whether that might be a passport photo or an ID photo, or whether that might be your provisional results. Our applications don't close. However, we have found that our places have been filling up really fast. So to secure your place, you must apply by the 28th of February 2026. And that is everything from me. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Charlotte. Covered absolutely everything there. Real wide array of courses and some great reasons to study at the Manchester College as well. I'm going to move on quickly to one aspect that seems to be repeatedly asked within the chat before we come on to our T-level employer. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen again. So a few of you, perhaps you missed the start of tonight's webinar, perhaps you were just a little bit confused. There's been quite a few questions about level 3 qualifications, combinations of qualifications, whether you can go on to university after you've studied them, and what the whole vocational, academic, technical qualification means. So I've popped that up on the screen now. This is from within our prospectus. So if you're not sure, you can get a copy of this within our digital prospectus that I talked about at the start. So if you Google Post-16 Careers Week or go on the Stockport Jobs Match website, you'll be able to access this digital prospectus. But tonight we've talked about different levels of qualifications, but all of the courses that we've talked about tonight are technical vocational courses. So we've got academic courses, which are A levels, which means that you study in a classroom environment and you take an exam at the end. And then we've got technical vocational qualifications, TVQs, which may involve an element of classroom-based learning and exams, but fundamentally are also learning through doing. So they are skills-based courses designed with employers and an end career goal in mind that involve kind of hands-on practical skills. That's why why they're called vocational. They're linked to an end vocation, okay? And there's all different levels of vocational qualifications that you can choose to study depending on what GCSE results you come out of secondary school with. So they start, so for some of the courses, they start at entry level. Some start at level 1, which is equivalent to GCSE's grades 3 to 1, so in old money, D to F, or at level 2, so GCSE grades 9 to 4, which is equivalent to A star to C, as was, or level 3. So A levels are a level 3 qualification, T levels are a level 3 qualification, and obviously some NVQs and BTECs start at level 3 as well. As Lisa said during her presentation, the level that you start at depends either on your GCSE results, or it may be that because you're studying something new for the first time, like for example business or hairdressing, you start at the level down. So it's worthwhile checking on college websites as to what level of qualification is right for you. But hopefully that explains a little bit more about the differences between them. All of the different levels, so whatever level 3 qualification that you get, whether it be an A level, a T level, or you choose to study A levels alongside BTECs and do a combination of these different courses, they all equate to UCAS points at the end. So if you want to go on to a degree, you will still be awarded UCAS points based on whichever level 3 qualification you gain, and universities will accept them. But again, you still need to check what university course, if you're wanting to go down the university route, you need to apply for, because they do have different entry requirements. I know it's all very confusing, but as I say, that prospectus is a really good place to start. I am going to come on to some of your specific questions in just a second, but first of all, we've had a few questions about T levels and how all that works, and we're lucky to be joined tonight by a T level employer. So I just wanted to take a moment to speak to Tressa from Adecco. I'm just going to spotlight her on screen. Zara, I'm going to put you up there for now as well, so that I don't have to change it around, and I'll put myself on there as well.
Thank you.
So yes, good evening and welcome to you both. Tressa, if I can start with you, can you tell us a little bit, just introduce yourself, who Adecco are and what kind of T level it is that you offer?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Karen. Hi, everybody. I'm Tressa Roberts. I'm the branch manager of Adecco recruitment over in Stockport. And this is Zara, our absolutely fantastic T-level student who's joined us tonight. I've worked for Adecco for 13 years. It's a fabulous company, but our job is a recruitment agency to find people jobs at all levels of their career. So it might be as soon as you're 18. We have sort of school leavers, college leavers that we find employment for, all the way up to financial directors and CEOs. So we're a huge recruitment agency, and we cover Stockport, Macclesfield and Tameside. But I'm really, really passionate about working with Stockport College. So when I first met with them, T-levels were just starting to come out, and I was just blown away by what an opportunity. And I would say to all of you students to be, you're so lucky. Like the facilities of all these colleges are phenomenal. You know, you have some great choices to make, and I'm hoping that this is really going to help you this evening. The T-level students I can talk really proudly of, because we've been involved with this at Adecco Stockport probably for about close to 2.5 years now, and we've really, really gained a huge network from it, because the people that we've had come into us, we have seen them really blossom and grow. And I think for us to be able to offer a work placement 1 day a week, it really does support the college course that they're doing, and we're able to give them live examples of work to complement the course. So business modules, and it is business obviously the module that we're looking at in the T levels, but we've been able to look at sales, marketing, targeting different things, looking at CRM databases, using very fantastic I guess IT systems such as Salesforce, really giving those students autonomy essentially to do the job themselves. So when they come away from that after a year, they're actually able to do a lot more than they realise. And if they would go to a job interview themselves, they're really empowered. And that is so important about the T level, because so many people have a very different experience, perhaps coming away from A levels, where you've also worked really hard, but having that opportunity to actually be live in an office and consistently learn and grow. It's not an opportunity for you to come and work for us. And I want to make that really clear, Caroline, because, and I'm hoping Zara agrees with me as well, this is not an opportunity for us to get something out of you. You know, this isn't the case at all. A T level is an opportunity for a global employer like Adecco to take people through the education system in a very different way, and to give you really great opportunities to come into an office and actually be part of a team. So essentially, be operating systems, be managing processes and learning all the time, but actually have responsibility as well. And I think Zara's done a phenomenal job for us, where Zara is very project led. So we've given Zara some projects to manage, and the feedback from senior management that we've shown Zara's work to has just been phenomenal, and to have that as part of your T-level is just fabulous. So I can't talk proudly enough. So
that was a really good introduction to things. Thanks, Tressa. So just to confirm for people, a T-level, level 3 qualification takes 2 years to study. It's equivalent to doing 3 A-levels. So you only choose one T-level. So Zara, you're doing a business administration T-level, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And are you in your first year or your second year?
I'm in my second year.
Okay. And do you complete the placement in your first year or your second year?
We start in our first year and then we end up completing it in the second year.
Okay, so it runs over the 2-year period. Now, as part of your qualification, you have to do 45 days with an employer. That's right, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So whereas for an apprenticeship, you spend 80% of your time learning and 20% of your time studying, a T-level is the flip reverse of that. So you spend 80% of your time at college doing your classroom learning and 20% of your time with an employer, embedding all of those wonderful skills that you've learned at college in a real live work setting, as Tressa just said. So can you tell us a little bit, Zara, about what it is that you've been involved with as part of your T-level work experience placement?
So I've done a lot of teamwork, like building skills, and we've done a lot of I've done a lot of administration roles and creating client call lists and really just helping the office as being part of a team.
Okay, brilliant. And why did you opt for a T-level over different study pathways? As we've said, there's so many different choices available to you. What was it about a T-level that stood out?
I think it was mainly the placement. It was the placement reason, and because I really enjoy the fact that there's both the placement and the learning aspect of it. So it's really good to support on your CV.
Great. And what do you think that you've gained out of that opportunity to be within a workplace and apply what you've learned in college?
I think I've gained real life skills that I can show to employers, and then when I apply for jobs, I'll have work experience.
Okay. And Tressa, what do you think the benefit is for businesses? Why should more companies offer this?
I honestly think everybody in Stockport should have a T-level student, because we've learned so much from Zara, and I think this is the most important thing. This is such an exciting generation coming through, and their tech skills, everything that they've sort of developed and learned. This is a real opportunity for us to understand this generation a lot more, and I think the T-level really gives us an opportunity to work together, which is phenomenal. So I think as an advantage for an employer, it's just second to none. It's a real opportunity to add value as well, because you're taking responsibility. It's a full year of learning alongside these students. For every student that's come through to me, I've designed a different program, so I've actually adjusted it to what they're passionate about. And I think Zara's very ahead of her level, I would say, most definitely, an absolutely phenomenal, very, very bright young lady with a huge career potential ahead of her. But I think we've had to deal with it slightly differently to perhaps somebody a bit more perhaps nervous or not so sure about systems. So we've adapted the style to everybody. So it doesn't matter what level students come in at all. We'll adapt and make that happen, which is why I'd recommend it hugely to many employers, because when we look at the businesses that we manage, I'm running £1 million a year business, so I know that I can give somebody an opportunity to have a really big scale of knowledge in the business world. And sometimes it's great to learn from your mistakes as well. So you can make mistakes in my office. It's fine. We can fix them, and it's okay. But we also have a lot, hopefully Sarah will do, we have a little bit of fun, we have meals in, we do treats, and we have just nice times together where it's not all about work. It's about, celebrating success and things like that as well. So I would say it's the best thing I've ever done as a manager. And I really hope a lot of other employers follow suit.
Great, thank you very much. And Zara, what are you going to go on to after this? Do you have any idea what's next after your T-level?
I'm looking to go into a degree apprenticeship, specifically project management. So I'm just having a look at different universities and employers that can support that degree apprenticeship program.
Brilliant, fantastic. And what advice would you have for people, students on here tonight, who are considering that T-level route?
I would definitely say it's a lot of hard work to balance your studies and your work placement, but it's just a matter of time management and being able to really put the effort in. And I think it's definitely worth it when it comes to being a skill that's put on your CV, and it really makes you stand out compared to an A-level.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you to you both. I'm gonna leave you on screen for a second because we've had a couple of questions come in about T-levels, but I'm going to bring Lisa in for a second. So Lisa, a couple of people have said, well, first of all, do T-levels run from Monday to Friday? Yes, they fit within the academic calendar. Do students get paid for doing T-levels? No, they don't, unfortunately. It's not like an apprenticeship where that is largely employment. This is seen as more of a work experience opportunity, so there's no financial transaction with that. Someone has asked though, Lisa, is a T-level instead of apprenticeship? So you're fully qualified at the end of it. This person is looking at electrical installation in particular. Is there a T-level in that?
So it's either one or the other. So you either do the T-level or you do the apprenticeship route. Both of them will get you the qualification at the end. And they are both kind of mapped against national occupational standards. You will be assessed kind of in a similar way, because you would have, with an apprenticeship, we'd have an endpoint assessment. With a T-level, you would have at end of year 1, end of year 2 exams, but it will still get you to the same place. It's just one, you do a lot more with the employer, because you know, on an apprenticeship, you may come to college 1 day a week and then be in work 4 days a week. Whereas with a T-level, you might do 1 or 2 days with an employer and then 3 days at college. However, some colleges may decide to do block placements. So you might do either a combination or one or the other. So it's just how it's kind of structured, but it will get you to the same place at the end.
Great, thank you. I've brought you all back in now because we're going to go through all of the questions. Betty, somebody has asked, who sorts out the work placement? Is that the college? Is that the student? Whose responsibility is that?
A little bit of both. If you know of a business that you'd like to work with when you're a student and you have a connection with them, the team will see if that's if they're amenable to it and that's possible, and fix a placement that way. But we, very similar to the other colleges, through apprenticeships, mainly we work with so many local employers, hundreds and hundreds of different companies, and they are very happy often to take a T-level student as a placement. So it's actually not proved a problem at all at our college. I know in some more rural areas of the country, they've struggled a little bit with placements a couple of years ago when it first began, but that's certainly settled down. And as Tressa said, any business who's had a T-level student on placement with them has been delighted with them. Yeah, it's been an absolute success. Yeah, it's great.
Brilliant. Great stuff, thank you. So this might be for you, Tressa. Can students go on to work for that company that they've had the work placement with after T-levels based on the relationship that they've built?
100%. Absolutely. Last year we had Jack and Riley, who won't mind telling me that we're actually looking for work for Jack now. We've got a few clients interested in interviewing him. We've supported him with completely rebuilding his CV and showing the experience he's had and helping him with the job interview. Would Jack want to work for us? I think possibly yes. If I had nobody in my team, I'd interview him and I would employ him tomorrow, and the same with Riley as well. It's a way of building a work relationship that is so unique, and I think that's happened as well with a lot of other T-level placements. We keep in touch with a few different scenarios. I think Stockport Council has potentially had a look at employing one of their students as well. So yeah, it's a really good pathway. You've got to think about your career long term. Everything you do, even if you're sort of 16, 17, 18, all starts to form these career steps of what you're going to do. And if you do have a great employer that you know you've got that working relationship with, I'm sure if there's an opportunity within that organisation, you'd be more than welcome to apply. This is what this is about. most
Brilliant.
definitely.
Thank you very much. Someone has asked, can you do 2 T levels or a combination of T level and A levels? No, unfortunately not. You can only do 1 T level. So 1 T level equivalent to 3 A levels. You can do a combination of A levels and BTECs, but you can only do 1 T level subject. I'm just going to move us away from T levels to some of the questions that were asked early doors. We went on to the T levels one because it was relevant to our speaker. So moving through these, we've got a question about doing food tech. So we've got someone who wants to open their own cake business, who's into the baking side of things. Is there a BTEC, NVQ, etc. that you'd advise them to do? They've only been able to find a food tech level 3 qualification at Wilmslow High School. Does one of the colleges want to come in on this? Do you offer some kind of food tech qualification?
I think with lots of colleges, they will, hopefully offer like a catering type qualification that then can kind of send you into specialisms like cake making and things like that. So I think the best thing is to find your local college, come along to the open event and speak to one of the catering lecturers, because they can help you figure out what it is your starting point is and what it is you can kind of progress on to be more specialised. So that's what I would suggest.
Great stuff. If either of you have additional courses that you think would be relevant, that one's just in our chat. So if you could pop a written answer on there, that would be great. Somebody has asked, we've covered that one off about vocational and T levels and level 3 courses. Betty, you briefly mentioned, actually, I'll put this one to Charlotte. You covered this briefly on your slide, but what sort of businesses offer placements for T levels? There is quite a wide range of them, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's lots of different ones, and each college or training provider will work with different ones as well. So the ones that we had was the ones on the bottom of my slide with all the logos on. So for example, the NHS, I need to jog my memory because I can't remember off the top of my head. Manchester Airport, Wilmot Dixon is a big one for us for our construction and engineering. Network Rail, the Hilton Hotel, Band on the Wall, which is who we use for music. Manchester University, and another big one for our digital is Lloyds Banking Group. So they provide us with all student work placements.
Brilliant. So there's about 25 different types of T-level courses currently that you can choose from, but they are adding to those all the time. T-levels only came out around 3 years ago, so there is still a relatively new qualification. And obviously the employers that offer T-levels are based on those specific courses. So obviously, the banking group will do the accountancy and finance T-level, etc. So all of the employers are relevant to the T-level course in question. Somebody has asked, do you do the work placement with the same company throughout the T level? Lisa, can you answer that for us?
It depends which T level you do. So for instance, majority of them, you're only allowed 2 employers within your 2 years, whereas early years, you can actually move across more. But I think if you're getting a really good placement, you're going to get, your induction, you're going to get CPD, you're going to attend team meetings, you're going to build a really great rapport with the team that you're working with. So I think over the 2 years, staying within the same employer would really give you those benefits to gain your confidence, your resilience, and often, like we've said, you can be offered a position at the end of your 2 years. So there's lots of advantages to that as well.
Great, thank you. Betty, somebody has asked, are there any sports-based T-levels?
Not at my college currently, but I believe they would be out in different larger establishments. That would be really good. Sport's a big thing at our college, but it's up to level 1, 2, and 3 there. And one of the most important things that I've been told by the sports team is you need a really solid, sensible background in business management when you go into the realms of sports, because most people in sports are self-employed, all the PTs and the coaching staff. So I think we will be looking at this soon to do a T-level in sports and bring business into it as well. Yeah, really, really very good. Lisa, do you have that, or Charlotte? Do you have T-levels in sports? No, it's not around yet. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's something that they're working on. They're obviously taking that feedback to things. I can see lots of articles about T-levels on the horizon for sports. So hopefully at some point soon.
Yeah,
Charlotte, someone's asked,
huge.
can you just refresh them on when the Manchester College opening date is in November, please?
Yes, it is Saturday. I can't remember off the top of my head. Saturday, the 15th of November. So it's 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. But all of our open events are on the Manchester College website. So just pop in your search engine, the Manchester College events, and you'll be able to register your interest to come along on the day that suits you best.
Brilliant, thank you. I've had a question come in through email. A lot of you have said that either you've got a later closing date for applications or you just leave that open throughout the course of the year, with your recommendation be to apply sooner to guarantee yourself a place. But someone's asked, how does it work with applying to multiple colleges and multiple courses? So Lisa, do you want to pick up on that for us? Can you apply to multiple places, and what happens if you get multiple offers back?
I would suggest you doing that because it keeps your options open. You know, when you get your results on results day, you're going to turn up to one college and you're going to enroll there. So it's fine to go to all the different open events, apply to the different colleges, but when it comes to results day, that's when you do have to kind of choose.
Okay, yeah, so it's good to keep those options open. Great. A couple of questions have come in about travel and tourism. Again, I think this is for you, Lisa. Someone wants to do a travel and tourism course at Stockport College, any of the campuses, can't find it online. It seems to be directing them to Trafford. Are there any courses available at Stockport, Cheadle and Marple around travel and tourism?
I don't think there is. Because we're a 5 college campus, not all of our provision is across all 5 sites, and it will just, if it's saying Trafford, it will be the Altrincham campus that it's based at, if that's specifically what you want to do.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Betty and Charlotte, do either of you offer travel and tourism?
We don't at Macclesfield. The only connection we have had to aviation there for a long time was engineering, but it is my old stomping ground, and I would like it to be there maybe in the future.
Yeah, Charlotte?
Yeah, we offer travel and tourism and aviation at our Wythenshawe campus. We also offer it at Harperhay, but it's a little bit further out, sort of North Manchester. So Wythenshawe would be a lot closer to the Stockport remit.
Okay, perfect. Somebody's asked, can you apply for BTECs and an apprenticeship? I'm presuming separately because you can't study both at the same time. But could you apply to those different courses? This person wants to do a business apprenticeship, but is concerned about not getting one. So that obviously we're going to talk tomorrow about apprenticeships. So do please come back tomorrow night. We're going to be talking all about apprenticeships tomorrow evening. But I think often the concern is with an apprenticeship, because they don't start necessarily in the calendar year in September. The concern is, should maybe you keep looking but apply for a college course as a backup. So this is exactly the question. Should he have a backup like a BTEC, a college placement, etc., whilst continuing to look for that potential business apprenticeship? Lisa, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, apply for both. That's there's no issues there. Often what can happen is if you don't find an apprenticeship start early doors, is start on a college course, speak to careers and just say to them, I'm on this course, but I do, really would like an apprenticeship. Often there are vacancies that are advertised through the college that you're at, and they can transfer you from like a study program across to an apprenticeship. So I would just speak to the careers team, speak to the department, just so they understand, because you may find one during the year, and that business can use the college that you're at as the place to kind of study the apprenticeship. So yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you. Charlotte, there's a question in the chat about buses for Macclesfield. So if you could just type a response to that for me, that would be great. Somebody else has asked, can you do an A-level at one college and an A-level at another college? I think I know the answer to that, but Betty, do you just want to confirm?
Do you want me to do the buses for Macclesfield? That one's
Oh, yes, sorry.
yeah,
Yes, sorry. You
brilliant.
get typing your response. Charlotte, got confused with where you are on my screen. Charlotte, I'll ask you that question instead. Can you do 2 A-levels at 2 different colleges?
The answer is no. So for
I've been 2 places at once.
yeah, it'll just be way too much. So they won't be able to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you could do an A-level at the college and also do a vocational course to run onside it. So it depends on the college. It's worth asking that question, but it'd be too much to split your time across 2 different places. I know that's tough if the place that you want to go to doesn't exactly offer the A-levels that you need, but it's good looking at equivalents. But a question about what happens if the work placement doesn't pan out on a T-level placement. Of course, the response to that would be that the college would endeavour to try and find you an alternative or work with you around resolving those issues, much the same as it was an apprenticeship. Hopefully then we have covered the vast majority of your questions tonight. We're at 8 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap up for this evening by saying a huge thank you to each of our panellists this evening. Lisa from Stockport College, Betty from the Macclesfield College, Charlotte from the Manchester College, and Tressa and Zara, who've joined us from Adecco. I hope you have found this useful as a starting point for some further conversations to have at home, to provide a bit of clarity about technical vocational courses and the different levels, and what your options are for the different colleges across the Stockport area. The next step for you guys is to continue your research, head over to their websites to look at the different courses, go along to those open events, speak to the careers advisors at your school, and ask as many questions as you can to arm yourself with information before submitting those applications as early as you possibly can, to keep those options open to you. If you try and get that done by January, February, that gives you the opportunity to concentrate on those all-important GCSE grades, to make sure that you have as many options to look at by the time results day comes. Thank you again for giving up your time this evening to join us and to engage with our chat box. I will be back tomorrow evening for our final evening event, where we are looking at apprenticeships at 16 and 18, so school leaver apprenticeships plus higher and degree apprenticeships as well. We'll be joined again by Stockport College, the Growth Company, Manchester Met University, and 2 different employers, talking about the apprenticeship schemes that you can apply for to start in September 2026. For all of the information, please do head over to the Stockport Jobs Match website /Post-16 Careers Week 2025, or look out for that letter that has been sent home for your school, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.